Hey, what's going on, everyone? For all those who may not know who I am Reverend J, and this is my co-host Joy,
Hey guys.
and this is our show. Let's talk about it. And today, we are going to be talking about relationships, along with some two guests. My good friend Reverend Pettis.
Hey.
And of course, my beautiful wife, Tracy.
Hey.
So, hey guys, so all week long, we have been exchanging text messages about questions that we think you guys may want to have answers to, or our perspectives about. Now, we're not counselors, we're not experts, so just take this as entertainment. And maybe a little bit of truth in it. Maybe we might be able to help you. I don't know. But if you need some real serious help, I recommend go get to see a counselor, somebody.
Please do.
But guess what? But guess what? If you have any questions, go ahead and put it in the chat box. We're looking on Facebook to see who make any comments, whatnot. If you want to go to shout out. Also, let us know if you're watching us live or the replay, and let us know like where you watch us from, because we are streaming on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. So right now we're broadcasting all over the world, and we just like to know who is tuning into our show, just for our own sake of interest. Nothing really major, but just our own knowledge. So we're gonna just hop right into it. To talk about some relationships. And the first question I have is this. And the question is it wrong for a couple that is married to not have sex with each other on a consistent basis? Now, I don't know why somebody would have an issue with this. I would say, is it wrong? Now, let me do it through two perspectives.
Okay.
From the non-Christian perspective, is it wrong? Yes. From the Christian perspective, is it wrong? Yes. Let me tell you something. I've been thinking about this all day.
Not all day.
No young man. I'm gonna talk about young man because I'm a young man, or I used to be a young man.
Used to be young.
I'm kind of inching up there now, so I gotta stop calling myself young.
Are we middle-aged? I think we're middle-aged now. We're middle-aged? Oh my God.
No young man gets married to be celibate.
Absolutely not.
They don't get married to celibacy. I'm sorry. So if you have a thought in your mind that you don't want to have sex, don't get married. Don't get married. Now, there's some people in the world that don't get married and okay with not having sex, have a desire to have sex. That's okay. Don't get married. But guess what? If you commit to somebody, especially marriage, and your partner have a desire to have sex, it's wrong to really take that from them. Now, let me give you a more Christian perspective. I'm gonna give some Bible on it because some people may watch this, may Christians, and may not believe me. So, I might not be true, but I'm gonna give it right from the Bible. And 1 Corinthians 7:3 says this: husbands and wives. I'm reading from the CEV version, the Contemporary English Standard Version. Husband and wives should be fair to each other about having sex. A wife belongs to her husband instead to herself, and a husband belongs to his wife instead of to himself. So do not refuse sex to each other unless you agree not to have sex for a little while in order to spend time in prayer. When you stop praying, get back up. I can say amen.
Let's
So
get
until they
going.
bend the grass on.
So women,
Turn off the lights.
Yep.
Right? Nope, you just don't want to have sex. Just get on your knees. So Tracy, now you know. Days, nights you don't feel like it, just get in
I'm
the
going
prayer.
to
Just be like, I'm an all night.
Yeah.
You might as well go to
You
sleep.
really
I'm an
need to
all night prayer.
let me finish. It says that then Satan won't be able to tempt you because of your lack of self-control. So there you go. Now, you know, you don't want to cause your man have temptation or your woman have temptation because, you know, you are not pleasing them sexually. So anybody else have thoughts on that? Joy.
Now, what do you say about those women who, you know, handling their business and their husband still going to cheat on them?
Well, that's a whole different. That's a whole different thing. That's a whole different thing. Whole different thing. That has nothing to do with a person not being given what he want emotionally or sexually. He had not hit that. He had that person has another issue. Yeah.
Well, I take a look at it that withholding sex from your spouse, if it's not a medical reason, you know.
There you go. Tell him we need a doctor's note. Don't tell me what you said. How you feel? Tell me what the doctor said.
If it's not a medical reason, you know, couples should not be withholding sex from one another. You know, sometimes they get into them arguments, and then there you go on lockdown. You know, you get it when I say you get it, and it's punishment. But actually, you know, sex in a marriage is a reward for each other because it's about growing intimate with each other. And if I say that they're holding out from having sex with each other, then I'm down with a question about where's the intimacy in the relationship.
Yes.
Because if there's no intimacy, then neither one is going to want to be with each other. So, or one may have lost interest and no longer want to be intimate, therefore don't want to have sex. So you got to figure out what is that root cause.
And then you go to the doctor and find out what's going on.
Yeah.
They do have pills for that.
Not pills.
They got everything you need.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I would definitely have to say that it's wrong from withholding it from your spouse. First, the spouse must ask themselves why do they not find interest in sleeping with their spouse? Why do they not find them sexually attractive? I believe it was Tamara from Sister Show. She had said one of the things that finds her man sexually attractive is that when he does like things around the house. Now, so, you know, something as simple as that. If it's doing laundry, helping out around the house, if it's maybe giving cute little compliments, maybe if it's giving like little sticky notes throughout the day before work, I love you, miss you, phone calls, texts, and things like that. Maybe, like, you know, for most women, I guess men too, like you need that, like, that emotional connection before rather than just having to have sex. You know, vice versa for men. Maybe the woman's not giving the man what he needs, you know, maybe support or whatever it is.
Yes.
So either way, you should not withhold. You should come together and talk about it, you know, because like you said, you don't want to be tempted, you know. So I say you should not be withholding sex from your partner.
You would need to have all women need to have like a subscription to Victoria's Secret.
It's mandatory now. They have to go.
Have at least a quarterly order come in.
Not a quarterly order. All right, so I have a question about that. Now, what if, because I was watching or listening rather to the Breakfast Club, and DJ Envy's wife mentioned a thing where they was having sex for like 10 years and she was faking it the whole time. And the truth about it is
10 years. Well,
yeah, the 10 years. Why you say no? My thing is the truth is a lot of times men don't really please the women. I've talked to plenty of women who men don't please them. The men don't know. That's our little secret. But they don't.
The wide secret.
And so I think a lot of times and I've heard this too, a lot of times for women, sometimes it's work. It's like another duty per se that they have to fulfill before the night's up. and sometimes they don't want to do it. So now I know I ask this question. I'll pose this question. Mm-hmm. Men, if your wife, how would you feel if your wife was to tell you, like, look, bro, I know we have sex, but it's not good. And it's a chore.
Wow.
Of me having sex. Because think about it. It takes a woman a lot longer to get into the mood. And by that time, you probably done and already in the shower. And she's still not halfway there.
well, let me say this is what a man should do. A man should.
But no, wait. Before you ask that question, would you want Tracy to tell you suck in bed?
Of course. Tell me. Let me know. So I can figure out what's going on. I can get better.
Most women don't think that men want to know, but men do want to know if they're not doing it right because they want to take care of business so she don't go nowhere else.
But I think
women need to speak up.
No, my feelings be hurt.
But I don't think not to be saying it blunt like finger. I don't think to say it blunt like Joy. You know what I mean? Like
I wouldn't say it like that. Like I would.
Okay.
I would be like, oh.
Let's have a talk. talk.
You know that thing
over
that
a dinner.
Do? Yeah, like let's try something else. Let's try. And that's like I probably wouldn't tell them. I probably would just like, let's try something else. Like, let's try something else. You know.
But no. It's so again. I heard the same interview, and I agree that again, you need to learn how to please your spouse. Women, you need to learn how to please your man. If you don't know how, you learn that. Everything in life is about learning. And if you don't know how to do it, get better at it, you know?
Yeah.
Why would you tell your wife that she was no good?
I would tell you.
Really?
I would tell her yes.
Josh is pretty blunt. Good
That's
or bad,
the bad part.
Josh is pretty blunt.
We have grown together over the years.
He would say it in a nice way, but he's not. Yeah, he would say it in a nice way, of course. Yeah, we both grown over the years, so we're both pretty open. Yes.
Okay.
I think it's easier when couples know how to communicate to each other.
Yeah.
They don't know how to communicate disappointments from one another. Then they're gonna always be hiding and keeping stuff to themselves. Mm-hmm. But that's where you gotta have that open type of relationship where you have where you can dialogue with your partner either way, no matter what it is. You know, because they understand each other when they can do that. And if they can't speak to their husband or wife about something that's disappointing, there's a problem in their communication.
It is okay to let somebody know how you're feeling. It is wrong for you not to let them know, and then the relationship ends. And it's your fault because you didn't speak up. I learned that. So again, let them know in a nice way and say, no, okay, you know, let's work at changing this. Let's see how we can change this. Again, and it's okay to receive constructive criticism. If somebody say, well, you're not pleasing in bed, well, bro, or woman, you need to go find out how to get the job done. And you can. You know, go ask somebody, you know.
You said go ask somebody? You can't ask somebody. We gonna go ask.
Hey, bro, tell me how you be pleasing your wife.
Right?
Can you give me some tips? Can I go talk to your wife real quick?
So what you do?
Right?
See, that's why I need to start a man cave club where we can.
That's not gonna work though, Josh.
Okay.
It won't work. The thing about one thing I've learned is that one thing that might please one person won't necessarily please the other person.
No doubt.
Because everybody has their body chemistry is made up totally different.
But see, then it's upon the person to let you the person that they're with to know this is what pleases me. That goes now into you learning more about your body and your sexuality. Right. That's a whole different show. that's like a Zoom show where it's like it's exclusive, invite only.
Everyone, take out your toys. like what?
That's when you turn the red light on. But let's get to another question.
Let's go to the next question. Yeah.
All right. the question is this: complaints about their partner, no physical attraction, hardly no common interest. What's the point of staying together? Is it worth the fight?
Okay, I will answer that that question. I feel if a person constantly keeps complaining about their boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, or wife, they need to figure out why they keep complaining. Is it something that's within themselves? Maybe that's nothing wrong with the other person. Maybe it's something within themselves that why they see that other person like that. And no physical attraction. I know most of us, well, some of us, or whatever you want to say, some people, they get with the person that per se that is not their physical type. You know, maybe they wanted somebody tall and light and curly hair. They got somebody short, dark, and whatever. But I think all in all, you should still find something physically attractive about that person. If it's the smile, the eyes, the ears, you know, whatever.
Then you wonder why you can't handle sex.
And God forbid, it's wintertime, he covered up his ears.
Like,
you know.
Oh man.
Why get divorced? Oh, I just can't. I'm not trying to. It's wintertime. It's Christmas. I can't do another Christmas. I love him in June, but Christmas time.
Oh my God, that's crazy. But yes, I still feel something you should be attractive about the person. Over time, of course, it's not looks, because we all know as time goes on, looks fade. Maybe they were a beauty queen or a, you know, great looking guy. Maybe they got an accent or age or whatever, you know. And also, if you have no common interest, I feel when you first, you know, you get together with a person, you get together because you have common interests. But as we all know, as you grow through life, you know, you may grow apart. You know what I mean? So I think if you feel yourselves growing apart during those times, you should figure out what can we do together that can bring us back closer together. If it's working together, a business, activity, date nights, you know, whatever it is, you need to find out from one another that can, you know, get you back together.
Try something else. Let's
and is it worth staying together? I say, you know, weigh out the pros and the cons. You know, I say, yeah, weigh out the pros and the cons. I feel if the pros are more than the cons, then you should really work it out. Go to counseling if you have to. Maybe talk to a trusted person. I think it's, you know, definitely all that. And of course, with marriage, you know, take divorce off the table. You know what I mean? So I would say definitely do those few things and, you know, really get to the bottom of it. But I don't know. That's what I would pretty much say.
Well, no, I agree. Attraction is about relationships. The root word of relationship is relate. And we are attracted to people that can relate to us. So even when you're married, especially the longer you're together in a relationship and even married, you have to keep finding things where you guys can relate. Again, would it be, I think somebody said it's about growing together. So how you were when you first got together, a lot of things were acceptable, but now they're not, because you've been together for 10, 15 years. The person needs something more from you. So again, it's about you making those changes and adjustment for that person. And also, like, for example, I heard a show where a guy said, his wife said, I like it when you wear a wife beater that turns on. So guess what?
Put on that wife beater.
Now, guess what? He wasn't comfortable with wearing wife beaters. But guess what? When he found that out and he's working on repairing his marriage, he put the wife beater on. So I'm telling you, if you want your spouse or a partner to be attracted to you, you gotta do things that they are attracted to. If it's being bold, if it's being stepping up, character-wise, there's so many different elements, things you can do to make your person remain attracted to you. Now, when it comes to physical looks, I don't know, maybe you can keep a haircut. You know, every 2 weeks, for no reason at all, I get me a haircut, you know.
I see you, babe. I see you.
got a little money now, so I'm working on my sneaker game.
Okay.
Changing up. You got change up. Sometimes throw a little hood in there. If you like a bad boy, be bad.
To me, it's about the behaviors. What do you actually, and I think that's what you're saying, Jay, is that, the behaviors, how you go about your day with your spouse, your partner, depicts if your partner is going to want to stay with you. Does your partner continue to still have that physical attraction to you? Because someone can be the hottest thing since sliced bread, but have a nasty attitude over time and become very unattractive. And you don't care about nothing else you have in common. You just like, I don't want you no more. Because of your thought process or how you talk to people, or when they see another side of you, they change the way they look at you.
Yes.
It's the behaviors. So like you're saying, modify your behaviors to get a different reaction from the person you're trying to stay with. Pretty good.
Look at this. The reason why marriages could be, you marry somebody for so long and they get bored of you, because you're supposed to be changing. You're supposed to be evolving. And as you grow and as you experience different things, as you do things, you change, which means that person gets to see a different person in you. There's a different person in you. It doesn't matter if you're 20, 30, 40, and 60. You should keep on unwrapping yourself and say, oh, wow, I can do this too. So and keep that person saying, oh, wow, okay. And you never know. Then you start unwrapping stuff.
Like, I like this one. I like this one.
I like this person here. So.
Well, the way I see it is, if you're just dating and you got all these problems, like if you're not,
No, don't get married. Don't get married.
Don't get married. Just pack your bags, bid them a good day. I bid you a good day, sir. And go on and find someone who you can, you're physically attracted to. You definitely want to do that.
Yeah.
You definitely want to have common interests. And what was the other one? What was the other part? Wasn't the 3 parts to this?
Oh, complaining about the person. Constantly complaining.
Yeah, and if you gotta complain about just leave them be. Now, if you married, then I get it. When you married, it's a
go to counseling.
Ball game.
Counseling, yep.
Because now you stuck. You stuck like Chuck.
Yeah.
So now you have to look at it a different way. Where I feel as though once you get married to someone, now you're gonna have to constantly adapt to the person that they're changing into. Yeah. And trust me, men, I'm telling y'all, I've seen my mother go through menopause. Oh my goodness. And I thought she was just losing her mind. So there's gonna come a point, if you stay with someone long enough, that they're gonna go through that thing called menopause. And I don't know what it's like. I'm kind of getting scared because I'm itching up there. Like I'm inching and I'm like, oh Lord, Jesus. Like,
if you're inching, I'm really growing.
You got about 30 more years, Joy, before you
No, I don't. Mom got hers in her 40s. So I don't have 30 some years. I got about a good 8 before it started knocking on my door. And so, but I seen the change.
Make sure you go to the doctor, get a doctor's note. let your person know.
Trust me, no.
What's going on?
You're gonna want to lock your wife up and be like, you know what, she crazy. I'm gonna put her away. Let me put her in a home. I don't know how she got here, but let me put her in the home until y'all realize what's really going on a lot of times. So I know that that's a big thing. Even with men, I've heard of men going through their midlife crisis and, wives having to put up with them like, oh, no, I want to, you had this nice, sophisticated, debonair man. Now he coming in here talking about, I want a motorcycle, and he want to walk around with, walking around here like he a 20-year-old. You like, bruh. You don't have to grow up. We got grandbabies coming. Like, what are you doing? So, but I know, but once you say I do, you have to understand that when you say I do, even though you said I do probably in your young adult years for most, well, for some, and probably in your 30s for most, that you're saying I do to whoever, all of the changes that they're going through, they're going to end up going through. All of the, God forbid somebody gets sick. Oh my goodness. That can be a very a very tough time for couples, children. I'm starting to see a lot, and I'm just like, Lord Jesus, someone being sick and not being well, and family and having to take care of them. That's not an easy process.
Well, that's what this is. But this is why you work on your marriage way before that even happens. Because it's like an investment. You invest in all that time. You invest in like the nice days. Those so. Those days will come. We somebody may get sick, and the other person need to really be there for them. You want your relationships. Relationships about being enjoyable. If you're going to be in a relationship with anybody's long term, you want to make sure that it's an enjoyable experience for the other person, and that's the whole goal. So that's your intent. All right, let's go to the next question.
All right.
What should a person do if their partner hardly ever gives them compliments or attention?
Run! Say. I feel like now again, I differ. For me, it's different if you're just dating and you're like, I feel like everybody have different needs. Like some women, you don't always have to tell them like, oh, you so pretty. Oh, you so great at this. Now people like to hear it once in a blue, but some people need it more. Like some people need it, like they need you to constantly throw that oil on them. Like, oh, you so great. Oh, go. And then there's some people that's like, oh, once in a blue, if I hear it, that's perfect. But I believe if you're in a relationship, just in a relationship, and those simple things aren't being met at that time, and depending on, other parts of your relationship, like if other parts of your relationship is really, 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 really good, and that one might be, where you don't get compliments as often, if you're not getting attention that you need, I sometimes worry about the attention simply because of social media. So I often feel like because people get so much attention on these little devices now, if they're not getting from their mate, they'll just jump right on here, and then you have nothing but attention being thrown on you, and now you can get sucked into something else. Just for like, oh well, you don't talk to me enough. You don't spend more time with me. Next thing you know, she on here with 20 different men, in her DM just talking because she's like, I need attention.
I'm like, get a job.
You're
busy enough.
But you believe it or not, a lot of times
I need attention and broke. No, that's not a good combination. You need to give attention to your jobs.
I've seen men and women get sucked in on these little devices simply because they're like, well, I don't get the attention that they're not doing this for me. They're not doing that for me. But when I get on here, other people talk to me. Other people tell me I look good. They look for the likes and all that other stuff. So, but like I said, if you're dating someone, they're not providing those things, and the other parts of your relationship isn't really great and grand, just move on and let them be on and free to find someone who they're more compatible with. Now, if you're married and
counseling,
you have a husband or wife and they don't give you any compliments, and especially if that's like your love language, like you like words of affirmation. And they're like, oh, no, you don't ever look good. Like you can put on a 3-piece suit, your Easter Sunday shoes, get your hair cut, and they still just like, yeah, okay.
Well,
then go ahead.
This is what I say. Again, if you want attention, like if I want attention, I must now look for ways to get that person to give me attention.
What if they just don't give you attention?
Well,
yeah, but
first you gotta talk to them.
You have to do that. Should you have to look for ways to get your spouse to give you attention?
Well, I think so because we run into this, especially the longer you're with somebody, you run into this mundane life things. So it's easy to just say, okay, they're here, blessed. So again, sometimes you gotta really just change up. It's like if you leave if you go on a vacation or a person go to on a job somewhere out of state for a week and come back home, the person, oh my gosh, I miss you so much.
Now, what if you don't get that response though? What if you come home in a week and they end up watching a
what's a whole different story? That's a whole different story. That's when you need. That's when you need to go to counseling. A lot of people don't know how to have healthy relationships.
A lot of people's marriages now. They walk in
I know.
Like, oh, hey,
what up?
A lot of people don't know how to have healthy relationships. A lot of people that are married, they don't teach marriage at school.
No.
So if you're married, you should be going to every type of seminar you can to learn how to get better at being married, for real. Because
that's sign up for all of them.
For real, because again, there may be things that you are not doing just by habit, and you don't know about it. Just like in bed, I don't know. You may think you're a rock star, but in reality, you're not.
And she's just faking it. She's sitting there doing her taxes, like, okay, if I get this,
they've been sex ed in class in school. Now this is the.
You're like, oh, wait a minute, I think I could write off on that. Oh yeah, no, we're good.
You better go on Google. We're going to Google.
Josh was silly.
But you're right that couples do need to seek more type of classroom environments, or getting with a counselor, or getting with a preacher, or getting with friends and talk about how can they make their relationship more interesting and exciting about keeping that fire going.
Yeah,
right. Rekindling what was there when you first met, and how do you keep that fire burning consistently to the end? And what do you got to do when you see that fire going out? Everybody be like going on and trying to get that flame to try to come back up. And so over here steady throwing water while you fanning and blowing. Like, hold on, we on two different pages.
Yeah,
so
right.
You gotta find a way to come together and work it out. You have to.
Look at this. Learning and exploring, it's learning is everything. It's like learning is everything. I have a business. I'm in a business. It's growing. I never experienced it before, so I'm constantly learning. I'm around other business owners who've been there, done that, and still going. So I'm learning. I'm constantly eager to learn. How do I do this? What do I must do next? What must I look at doing tomorrow? So likewise in your marriage, same way. Get around people that's go to workshop that can help give you information about how you have a better marriage and keep that intimacy. Look at this. Life is about exploring. And we marry, it's about exploring together how you can have a better marriage and a more enjoyable one.
Right.
So,
yep. I just want to say, I agree with everybody, what everybody said. And I was also say, I guess to add to it, if a man is like, I don't know, let's say he's in sweatpants all the time and, whatever. And then he gets dressed up to go to a wedding, like with a suit and shoes and so forth. And let's just say the girlfriend or wife doesn't say anything. He doesn't ask for it and she doesn't say anything. He leaves, he comes back, she doesn't say anything. But let's just say that man is at the wedding or whatever he's at, or banquet or whatever, and then he's getting a lot of compliments from women. Oh, you look so handsome. Oh, you look so sharp.
So good in your suit. Look at you in your suit.
Right. Oh, look at you. And then he comes back home to that girlfriend or wife, and then she's just flipping the TV on and doesn't say anything. Now that one time, it depends on the man, or if you want to switch the roles of woman, it depends on their personality. But I think over time, if that keeps happening, nobody needs compliments every day. But if over time, let's say in a year span, if they never give a compliment, but they keep going to work, they go to Wawa, and then somebody says, oh man, I like that. Or hey sis, you look cute. Never. After a while, a person will feel a certain way.
Yeah. Agree.
Yeah.
Agree.
So I would say,
yeah.
Again?
They will feel neglected.
Yeah.
If they're not getting that attention they deserve to get from their partner without being prompt.
Mm-hmm.
That's a need. It's a need to have. They need to have. But also, like, again, for example, I get, like, again, when I put on clothes on, I put on clothes on, one, to look good for myself. I look in the mirror and say, I look good. They say this, that the same price tag you put on yourself, other people see it. Like, again, you should not look for compliments so you can get affirmation up from knowing. It needs to be compliments that you confirm that you know who you are about yourself. When I put certain suits on, I'm like, I know I look good. This look good. No doubt about it. I got a haircut, got a nice little magic. Walk in the door, look like I have $1 million. I don't have it, but I look like I have it.
But what happens if Tracy be like, nah, that ain't it, babe. That's not hitting.
I'm good. I'm good. When I look in the mirror, guess what? When I look in the mirror, I say I'm good.
See, I feel like I always look at it like this. Like, no matter how good I may look, I love it when my man tell me, like, oh, babe.
But guess what?
You look good. Because even if other men tell me, oh, you wearing that, you look good. Oh, yeah. It's nothing like having your significant other be like, oh, yeah. Like, you look good. That's it. I like that.
But guess what? If you look good, other people, your spouse is going to say the same thing. They're going to say it.
That's not true.
That's not true.
It's because guess what? It's the essence you're going to carry by yourself. You're going to put it on.
Josh, I've known of people who have been together with their spouses for years, and they get dressed sharp, and their spouse don't ever be like, oh,
but question though, are they dressing based upon what they just like, or do they know what their spouse likes? Like, again, if you know your spouse like if wear a wife beater, put that wife beater on. I promise you they're gonna say.
Yeah.
If they want to see you in a Batman outfit, guess what? Go to Amazon.
Not Batman.
And walk around the house for a day.
Batman. Not Batman. He said if your spouse likes Batman.
But see, and that's the trick. The trick is, like, when I dress up, I listen to my wife. So when I buy stuff knowing that she's gonna say, that's nice. See? You gotta
but there should be some time when your spouse would, even if it's not, like, I don't necessarily think men go around telling, well, no. Sometimes men say, like, oh, babe, I like that dress on you, or whatever. But we're not gonna wear the same dress or the same cut dress all the time. I feel like you have to try different things to find out what works with your body, and then find out what
what your man likes.
I guess you could try to find out. I'm telling
you, that's best. If you want to get a compliment from your partner, think about what they like.
I think y'all need to just give y'all women compliments. Whenever, that too.
But I'm saying though, one of the things you can do too is put stuff on that they like, and they're gonna say, "Wow, that's hot." Because they like, they like it in general.
They don't care if their man likes it or not. Sorry, I heard some women say, "Need like a little fine or something." We need to talk now. Some women don't care if their man don't like their hair a certain way or outfit. They said, "I like it. I'm gonna wear it." I've heard women go as far. I know it's not. Well, anyway, some women even say their man likes them thicker, but they like to be skinnier. They said they like me thicker, but I don't care. I like to be skinny, and vice versa. So even though their man might like them to be a certain way, they feel comfortable in the opposite. So
some men might be like, I like longer hair, and a woman like, look,
right,
my hair's shedding, boo. I got to cut this. Ain't gonna be no long hair. So that's I know with women are more, I don't know, we're more body conscious, but we do have a lot of those things that go on in our own head, where, like, a guy might be like, oh, I like that, because most men are like, oh yeah, I like the junk in the trunk, I like the extra gush. But women are like, nah, I want a slim waist, I want to be able to, I want to be able to look a certain way in certain dresses and stuff like that. So I want to be a certain weight, where men are thinking about just one thing. Some men might be like, oh, I want you in tight.
Men are not one dimensional. And that's what you must
realize.
realize.
What I'm saying is, a lot of times when men like, oh, I like women who are thicker, they talking about they like a girl with probably big booty or nice.
Yeah, but guess what? But guess what? I promise you, if a girl who don't have a big butt shows another quality or characteristic they like, they'll take it too.
Yeah. Oh no, I'm not saying they won't take her.
They'll take it too.
I'm not saying they won't take her. I know they're gonna take her.
Exactly.
But what I'm saying is what they like. I know they're gonna take her. Like when guys be like, oh yeah, you can put on that next 15 pounds. That 15 pounds look good. But they're not looking at the stomach. They ain't looking at the rolls in your back. They forget about all that. You like, bro, I got rolls. I'm getting rolls. What you mean you want 15 more pounds on me? I'm good. we gonna stop here.
You never know. Some men like that. You never know.
Well, I don't. I don't need my back.
Like again, that goes like over time, like any relationship over time, you must work on a broader relationship instead of just maybe just a physical, and maybe start emotional. And that's where, again, whether you cut your hair or not, because here sometimes people get hair loss, all that stuff happens. But again, because you spend that time nurturing that relationship, that person will have fallen in love with more than just what they see on that outward, but your character. And that's what you got to focus on. Okay, what does this person like, and what kind of person like? So again, like Rev J said, if you're a negative person and your partner don't like a negative person, I don't care what you put on. After a while, he's like,
yeah, true.
Mm-hmm. So again, when you start, you may start looking at, oh my gosh, she's got long hair, she got the big butt or big breast, but again, all that changes. But what you have control over, you have control of your body sometimes, but you do have control of your character. Yeah. How you think, your work ethic,
right, but she wants you to tell her you look good. Not, oh, your character is so great. Oh wow, she come down. You have a great spirit. I love. But that
do make a person good. Say you that do make a person good.
Yes, but if a woman comes at do I look good fat in this dress?
It's not about the dress though. It's not about the dress. It's not about the dress. It's about,
when we come at you.
I'm telling you, it's not about the dress. It's not about the dress. It's about the person. People fall in love with people.
You better fall in love with telling me I look good in this dress and I don't look fat if I come at you, okay? That's what you
don't worry about it. Don't worry about this. If they like the person, they'll lie to you. They say, oh no, I like the dress.
Well, think about it, most people do. Most people will lie and be like, no, that dress look good on you. Yeah, babe, that's it.
Oh man. No, look at this. If a person likes you, they will like what you do.
Yeah. Anything you wear, anything you say is gonna also be the best because they like the individual, the person inside all of that, your personality.
Yeah.
That's what makes to me, that's what makes a woman so attractive is her personality, It don't help to have some great looks to go along with that personality.
I was about to say, because if she comes in cross-eyed, like just that one tooth, all the rest of them are going, she's got that one tooth, but she's like the best person ever. You be like, yeah, I pray for you, sister. I pray you.
Oh no, I'll give it. I give you a story. Like this woman on Love the Lockup, right? She left her husband after 20 years, and she started on Love at the Lockup. This woman, I think she do well for herself. She divorced her husband after 20 years, and she started dating this inmate, right? And she's all like, oh my gosh, can't wait to see him. They was both driving in the car. She got a flat tire. He's like, I don't like a flat tire. So what do you do? And she was getting upset because this guy she's supposed to take care of yourself, but take care of responsibilities. I'm like, woman, you marry a boy.
An inmate on top of that. Like a regular boy. So at this point in her life, she's probably looking for a man. Say, okay, no problem, God, I got this. If I can't get the tire off, I'm gonna call AAA. I got resources. Because after a while, a good woman don't want a boy. She want a man with resources. She want to make sure you get some health insurance. Resources. I know I do. I like a man with good resources now.
Definitely.
I don't like the boys. I'm good on the boys.
Good on boys.
Yeah, I'm good on boys. Nah. I need you to be the man part. I don't need the boys 2 men. I need the man part already. I don't need that in my life.
I think Rev Petty got kicked out, something like that.
Or disconnected.
Yeah. All right, we have one more question. That's his question. Can a person upbringing in their family home growing up affect the way they are in their relationships?
Oh, that was his question, right?
Yeah.
Is he coming back on?
I don't know.
We will see.
Let's move. Let's go on. Oh, here you go. Right here. I think is he here? Is he here?
I was gonna say I can start a song for y'all.
Get a
let me in. Okay. He's trying to get back in. Oh, here you go.
Okay, can y'all see me now? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're
having
back
so
in
much
time.
fun, I forgot to charge up my iPad.
Okay.
Got to switch over to the phone. Okay. A person's upbringing can definitely affect the way they are in a relationship. And I say that all depends on the type of environment they were in, single family home, a married home, abusive home, or a loved home. Generally, that person has some characteristics of that lifestyle that they were brought up in. And unless they make a decision to change the type of environment, they're going to continue that cycle of repeating abusive relationships, or they'll repeat having a love relationship, especially they with parents and they saw how mom and dad was always so lovey-dovey and family orientated. You see, they tend to be the same way as how they were brought up in the home. Unfortunately, sometimes you have kids who were raised by a single parent and they see how either the mother or the father who was single parent was constantly always out there doing things with who knows who and so many, and they tend to end up having a revolving door as they get older. So I definitely say a person's upbringing can affect their relationship, but again, the Bible says, when you come of age, you have to put away childish things, okay? And you have to learn how to be responsible for you. And if you want to have that fabulous lifestyle and relationship with a partner, you got to work at it, okay? Be that person that, you want to be or hope to have saw your parents be, make the change so that way your relationship can be lasting and worthwhile. So
I agree. I think again, upbringing can affect their life now. It don't have to. If you identify what you don't want in your life, and learn how to change that. If your parents was not emotional, you can be with your children. If your parents are doing things with you, really, you don't have to be that. You can change that. So because all the time, your parent, what your parents did, they seen their parents do.
Yeah.
But you don't have to repeat the cycle.
Yeah. What's that old saying? Be the change that you want to see.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's
Anyone
what it
else?
boils down to. But then again, you grew up in a household and you saw your family were just freaks. Hey, you turn out to be a freak yourself.
Yeah.
I'm just being real with it, I mean, because you tend to gravitate to what you're used to, and you lose to that lifestyle, you'll keep going. Like someone said, Joy, you said, someone having a midlife crisis, they need to change and evolve, If you always saw your daddy and your grandfather always partying, and you start growing up, guess what you're gonna do? You're gonna start hanging out with your daddy and your grandfather, and all y'all up in the club trying to say, hey, who getting that? It's you gotta make a change somewhere, You just have to.
I agree.
Now, do y'all think that your placement, you know how they say like most older children are like more responsible, supposed to be more responsible, and more of the caregivers, and then like the middle child is always like trying to find their place, and then like the younger child, the youngest of them all, like they're like normally spoiled, they're the brats of the bunch. Do you think that plays a part in relationships, like your where you were born, your placement of birth?
I will say from the not really, but I will say a couple examples I can think of. One person was the oldest out of all of their siblings, and they were pretty wild, you know, as a teenager and a young adult, you know, and up and through the years. But because they had so much responsibility to help with their siblings and so forth, but when they were able to get out of the house, they got out and had fun.
Yeah.
So I do find that in not every family, but a couple of families that has happened with the oldest. Not sure about the middle, but I know the youngest, it appears to be that the parents treat the youngest like a baby, more protected, and you know, they get more things, especially if they're a girl and they have older brothers. But and then it can kind of go both ways, because some younger siblings they can get away with anything. You know what I mean? Like, I know people that come from a big family, and the oldest, they couldn't get their hair colored, they couldn't go out past 9 o'clock, you know, whatever. But the youngest came along and they can do like whatever. So I kind of seen like a little bit of everything in relationships, per se. So as in a relationship, when they get married or dating, that can also affect, because in some relationships, because if you're used to being spoiled, boy or girl in the family growing up, then you could become a spoiled spouse or a spoiled husband or wife. And the same thing as if you were the oldest, you can, and now you're in a relationship, I feel too that that can kind of affect, you know, your relationship. But that's not in every case, I don't believe, though.
Now, do you think, like you're only child, and like with me having Jill and she's only child, and I pray for her husband, her future husband. Jill loves her own space, like that child. She's a true only child. Oh my goodness, this child, true only child. Like, do you ever find that? Like, I know a lot of people who have grown up to be like their only child. They're like, no, at some point in time, I need my own space. Like, my husband has to know, like, I need you to get away from me. Take the kids, because I need my own space. Like, do you ever feel that way being married? Like, as a married woman, do some of those things that were innately you because you grew up as an only child affect your marriage, or come through in your marriage, not necessarily affect it?
As a marriage, no. Because we both are busy throughout the day and everything anyway. So, but we do find time to get together and talk and, you know, hang out and so forth. So I don't think it affected me. Even though I'm the only child, I still like to, you know, go out and be social and do things. You know what I mean? So I don't think it really affected me. Now I would think, as far as like company, growing up as a kid, I liked my company, I like my friends and so forth. Cousins coming over, had a ball. But I think after a while, you can go home now. It was nice. We had fun. But I was like, space, my room. I'm very neat. Like, my doll went here. My bed was made. So I was very neat. So I didn't want everybody to mess it up. So I think after a certain time, I would say, you know, but I think as a marriage, you know, now I'm fine. Adults coming over or whatever, I'm fine now. As in relationship. To me, it doesn't affect.
Well, I think
being crazy don't affect your marriage. Josh is the crazy middle child.
No, I think what changed a person's life is exposure. Because when you leave your house, now you're exposed to the rest of the world. Yeah. And depending upon who you meet, what could change your life dramatically. Like I had the opportunity to leave Newark, be part of different families, and see the way different marriages was, which changed my view of marriage in general, and raising children in general. So again, exposure is key, and exposure is key even once you get married, because I think married people need to be around other married people to grow. We grow. Our community grows us. our community feeds us.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're not being fed by the community, you're dying of starvation.
Yeah.
You're not learning. You're not cross pollinating. They call it.
Mm-hmm.
So you need that exposure to say, I like that now. I like to try that out. I like to experience that. And they say, oh, I want to raise my kids like they raise their kids. I want to be on trips. I want to be this. Believe it or not, if you have friends that go on trip, after a while you want to go on trips too.
Yeah.
And if you marry somebody that I don't want to go on a trip, guess what? That's gonna make you. Like I want to go on a trip like they. I want to go on a family trip like they go on a family trip. That's why I work hard.
That definitely can affect the family. But to do something like that, both partners got to work together.
Yeah.
Even if one person don't want to do something and the other does, they still got to figure out how do they come to a happy medium where both can be satisfied. Both can be happy. It's about the amount of work they put in to take care of each other. And how you say, it is contagious being around other folks watching them do things and you not doing it. It's very contagious, And then you be like, man, they over there doing that. Why we ain't?
But see that what happened? I'm part of a networking group where business owners are making money like crazy. I mean, they buying other stores, they expanding. So when I see that, I get a desire for that. I want to see my little small business expand. I want to see and I'm always looking for ways to expand, and it's growing. I've come a long way from where I started. Let me tell you. And guess what? I got more vision. I got more expanding to do. But I stay around that group because it keeps me hungry. Look at this. If you want a better marriage, get around other people that have a better marriage.
Yeah,
it's gonna make you hungry for it. And if the only way you're gonna change, the only way you're gonna explore, you have to be hungry to do it.
Yeah,
you have to have an appetite to do it. So,
yeah, you have to.
Yeah. So, no, let's do one more question. I'm going through the bag here.
All right.
Drum roll.
Right.
What is the purpose of marriage? Joy.
I thought you were going to answer that first, Rev J.
The resident remarrier.
By now you should know. If anybody had experience, you have
That's funny.
Oh my God.
The purpose of marriage. Ultimately, this is what I believe it's created for. One, I believe it helps to build a village. It was made for that, to build, a community of people, to get people from different parts to build up a good community. I also believe I'm really old school. Like, I believe that I believe marriages, people have. This is gonna sound bad to some people. Don't get offended, women. I know a lot of women who are like, "Oh no, I don't need no man. I could do it myself." I think everybody's supposed to have there's positions to play. I believe that a husband was created to be a provider, to go out there and be able to do whatever he needs to do to provide for the family, to protect the family. And I think the woman created to be the nurturer, to help to, come alongside the husband and help him to nurture the children and build the family and create a legacy. I also know that marriage is somewhat of what people may say a business. A lot of people, some I know very affluent people, they marry money. Most of them don't marry, just a regular person off the street, because guess what? Money on top of money creates more money. Now your money and nothing. They're like, no, we're not doing that. You need to find love somewhere else. You keep that at the side, but you ain't bringing that home to marry. But I understand that marriage is a business because it helps to build whatever legacy that you're trying to go for, or that you want to leave for the other generations. Now I know in the fairy tale land, it's supposed to be from love and the happy forever afters. Doesn't always work out that way, but I know that's what a lot of people have been told, like, oh, they got married and they live happily ever after. And a lot of people buy into that, thinking that happily ever after, doesn't come with trials and tribulations. But true happily ever afters definitely come with a whole lot of trials and a whole lot of tribulations, but you got all that good stuff in the middle, in between, that makes it so much better when you finally get there, when you're old and you're looking at your grandkids and you're trying to figure out who's gonna go pick up the medicine. But it's like, oh, we spent 30 years together. I don't mind seeing his teeth sit over there. Like, I just love this man. After a while it gets to that. But I understand that a lot of people think, like, I just want to be married, I just want to be happy. But if you don't get married. Let me be the first to tell y'all.
You're gonna make me be happy.
Do not get married if you thinking you're just looking for happiness. Please don't do that. Save your money, honey. Trust me, the money is not worth it. If you need to go be happy, go get you a puppy, go plant some flowers outside. Do other things. Don't go get married. Trying to look for no happiness. Don't do that. That's just a little tidbit from Joy. Trust me, it's expensive. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Tracy?
Oh, that's funny. Well, I guess I agree with what Joy said. Pretty much plain and simple, to build with somebody, because anybody can per se marry anybody, but I believe, well, first you should pray and ask God who he should have, for you, and that man will find that woman. You come together, you work together, you build for a purpose. And I believe the purpose that God has for that couple, it won't be the same if you get with somebody else that God does not have for you. So I pretty much say, that's pretty much plain and simple. That's my answer.
Okay. Rem Pettis?
I agree both with Tracy and Joy. It's about enjoying life with a help me. Life is not meant to be depressing. It's not meant to be alone. It's meant to be with someone happy, in love, and I gotta be cautious. Fruitful. Okay. Hey, that's biblical, all right? That's biblical. So God put man and woman together to build a community, to find that joy, that peace, that happiness, so they can enjoy the wonders of life that God has given us. A union, doing it together, enjoying life together with someone. Like you said, hey, whose turn is it to pick up the meds? I went last time. Matter of fact, put your teeth in that glass. I just put fresh dish water over there. So it's about that, the compromise, to enjoy life with someone. And if you have children, teach them how to enjoy life as well and raise them to the best that you can.
Yeah.
And I agree. And I agree with everybody. I have the same perspective. The Bible says that for this cause shall man leave his father and mother and cleave unto his wife, and they should be one flesh. And that's the whole purpose of marriage, is to bring two people together that are separate and make them one. And the stress of marriage, the work of marriage is becoming one. Learning how to become one. Learn how to and of course you're going to be different. People are saying, well, we're different. No matter who you marry.
Gonna be different.
Everybody's gonna be different.
After a while, you're gonna find out their differences. when you first get married, oh my God, I can't believe we're so much alike. And you fit my words, you feel everything, and then year 2, year 3, year 10, I can't believe we're so different.
How are we still together?
But see, look at this. You're supposed to be different because you are meant to be for something greater than just yourself.
Mm-hmm.
The world is so much greater that you alone cannot deal with it with your own personality. And the life you both want to experience is only for 2 people to be able to handle it. To have a more broader life and a more fruitful life. But again, in order to enjoy that life, you must become one.
Yeah.
You must change your thoughts and choose to say, okay, we are going to think like this.
Right.
We choose to live like this together. And that's a challenge because a lot of people have the thought, oh, this is who I am. I don't want to change. Oh well. And I told somebody, it's not about not being real. It's about being wise.
Yeah.
You can be real and you will be alone.
Absolutely.
But when you talk about marriage, you may have to change what you believe, what you think about certain things to keep the marriage going. And this is why you need pre-marital counseling.
Hello.
Oh yes.
Before you get engaged.
Yeah.
That's the challenge, so that's good. Well, guys, it's the hour, so we're gonna wrap it up. I want to thank you all for joining us today. I hope you all have learned something, had some fun, laughter. We have more questions. And we'll come back with another part 2 in a couple of weeks. Also, if you have some relationship questions, inbox myself, inbox Joy, let us know. And your name will remain anonymous. No one will know. That's you. And we will come on the show and ask your question and talk about it. Because this is where the show, we talk about things that we really need to talk about.
Yeah.
I want to thank our guest, Rev Pettis, my beautiful wife Tracy, for joining us today. Hopefully, they come back again when we do our part 2. We got some more questions. So other than that, guys, once again, if you enjoy this, share it. Like our YouTube page. Let's talk about it with Rev J and Joy. And guess what? We're coming up with a whole bunch of shows in the next couple of weeks. I got some guests coming up to share some information that we're going to talk about a lot of different things that you can learn from and that can really change your life.
Yeah.
Any last words, Joy?
No, I want to thank our 2 panelists tonight. It was amazing. We definitely have to do this again. Like Josh said, if you have any questions, inbox us, DM us, however you do it. Just get them to us. Also, is that it? Yeah, that's basically it. I don't have any other updates.
All right. Well, see you guys later. And
don't let nobody steal your joy.
All right. Take care, guys.
Bye.
See you soon.